Hello everyone and welcome to the speed build for Amelie's apartment in The Sims 4. So I did do the whole apartment building. So this is actually, she lives on the 5th floor in the film, but this is actually the 3rd floor because I don't know how many floors you can actually build in The Sims. But also, I felt like she didn't need to be quite so high up as the 5th floor in The Sims. I think the 3rd floor's fine because Raymond Dufayel, her neighbour, he can stick on the 2nd floor and then she can still look down on him. So I felt like the 3rd floor was alright. I think it were alright. But yeah, so we're doing this in Windenburg. I felt like it was the only thing close enough to Paris that we could get away with pretending it's Paris. So yeah, we're doing this in Windenburg and yeah, we're just getting along just now. So I've done the windows already and sort of the walls and the layout. And these windows, a little bit big. They were a little bit big. I try and fix it in a bit and I don't end up doing it. But I really wanted ones that just sort of closed in on themselves because that's what she does in the film. And I think that was more important to me than the size, was that you could close the shutters in on themselves. So I am trying to fix it now, look, by putting a bit of wall in. I'm putting these chimney breasts in and pretending that they're wall. Which, in the end, I think I take it away because I'm not 100% happy with it, honestly. Like, it just doesn't look as good as without. So I think I do take them away in the end. But yeah, so there's a lot of reds in this. There's a lot of reds. There's a bit of blue, but it's mainly reds. So be prepared for a lot of red. A lot of it. I'm still trying to put a wall in. I'm not giving up. I don't give up easily. I must have been doing this for literally about 10 minutes in game, trying to put walls in, and it's just, yeah, I've given up now. But yeah, so I feel like a lot of this is going to be cluttering, a lot of this is going to be putting a lot of red in. But yeah, I think I got there in the end. I think in the end it does look not too bad. Not too bad at all, if I do say so myself. I was referencing a lot of pictures of the film, so I was really sort of looking at the pictures and trying to recreate in The Sims, which is hard. It's quite hard actually, because obviously you've only got so much to go on in The Sims, so you've got your catalogue of stuff and you can say like, well, that's similar, we'll put this in, we'll put that in. But there's some things which just you don't always have in The Sims 4, so you do have to do a lot of substituting. I've had to take a little bit of artistic license on some things, like for instance this pipework on the outside of the building. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure that the film, when I was looking at the still of this window, it's not pipework, it's something else. I can't remember what, but it's something else. But yeah, we're going with pipework because it's the closest sort of substitution I could find that I was happy with, that looked alright. So we're doing that. But yeah, we've done the plant pots now. We've got those in, and now we're going into the kitchen. I get rid of these counters, I think, because they were too modern looking for my liking, and we end up going with the Parenthood ones instead. So yeah, I'm putting the Parenthood ones in now. Oh no, I'm trying to. So she has the microwave on just a regular sort of wooden counter. Not even a counter, it's just like a table. But in The Sims you can't do that. You won't be able to use the microwave. So I did want this to be player friendly as well. So I have put the microwave on a countertop. I've just coloured it a little bit different, so that it looks a little bit more like the counter that she has, the table that she has in the film. So we've done that, and we're putting in these Parenthood counters, which I think look a lot better. Oh no, I switch it out for that, yeah. So I make it a little bit different. I've switched that one microwave counter out just to make it look a little bit different. I didn't want it to match in because it is very mismatched in the film. There's a lot of mismatch going on. There's a lot of clutter and there's a lot of mismatch. So be prepared for a lot of stuff. She has a lot of stuff, our little Amelie. A lot of stuff. So I did actually create her as well in Create a Sim. If you are interested, I will pop it up here somewhere in the upstairs area of my head. It'll be up here somewhere. And we're just curtaining up here now because she does have a little curtain on her counter, which I've destroyed the entire building for. We're putting it back together now. But yeah, I felt like I wanted it to be as close to the film as I possibly can. And I think one of my favourite bits actually is the little window, which you look through to get into the kitchen. You can sometimes like look through that little window and you see the kitchen, you see Amelie in it. I do really like that. And these are the beads as well. I was quite proud of this, or quite proud that I found these, because it was the closest thing I could get to these sort of door beads. And I love that scene right at the end where Amelie is sort of daydreaming about Nino going out and getting some flour or something, and she imagines him coming back home and sort of playing with the beads and teasing her, and she hears it in real life, and it might be Nino, but I've just hit my mic. Oh no, it might be Nino, but it's not, it's the cat. So yeah, I like those beads. I'm getting on with those beads. I was happy about that. I was really proud of finding those. So we are just plodding away through the kitchen, cluttering it like hell as we go. And yeah, I think that we've got the table and chairs in now. She does have a very plasticky looking table and chairs. I think I've put a wooden table in, but we didn't really have any red plastic tables in The Sims that I could find. So we did our best with what we had. I feel like, in The Sims 2, is it The Sims 2? Yeah, The Sims 2, we have that IKEA pack, don't we? I feel like we could have done with that, because there'd have been a lot of clutter and plastic cheap furniture, which I think that Amelie doesn't have cheap furniture throughout her apartment, but it's like her bed as well. I struggled with the bed. I ended up using something a little bit different, but the covers looked good. So in the film, she has a very metal sort of framed bed, and yeah, there's nothing really like that, I don't think, in Sims for a double anyway, and she does have a double in the film. So I end up doing just sort of a 4-poster one, but one without the draping on it. I end up just going for that, and I think it works. It works. It's fine. It's just not how it was exactly in the film, but I think that the covers were pretty good. The covers were pretty on point. So yeah, so we're just going through. We are choosing some flooring, which I think is doing all right. I think I put a lot of rugs in this. I think I put a few rugs down in this. And I'm just making it smaller because I felt like a lot of the spaces were a little bit on the larger side. And yeah, I think that it was too much space to put so much clutter in. So we're getting rid of some of the space. I think in the living room as well, on the other side to where her sofa is, I feel like there's a bit of space over there as well, which could have been filled, but I ended up just putting some rugs down, and I felt like it were all right. It were all right in the end. But yeah, it was, I love clutter, and I love cluttering in The Sims, but there is a lot of it in Amelie. The aesthetic looks so good in the film. Pulling it off in The Sims was a challenge, to say the least. It was a challenge indeed. But yeah, we get there in the end. It just takes some time. So we've got her little cat bowl down there now. We've got that little cat. I don't know what the cat's called. I can't remember. It's a mate's cat. The one that goes on, she's an air hostess, and she goes all around taking the gnome about, her dad's gnome. So I would actually really like to do her dad's house. That would be a nice one, I think, to do, because I love the French countryside. I absolutely love the French countryside. And I remember from the film that his house is very sort of French country, brick, big gardens, all sort of, yeah, I want to make his house now. I'm itching to make his house now. But yeah, I think we'll do that. I do love those sort of stone country houses that they have in rural France. The rural of France. So yeah, we just put these shelves in. Don't think she has these in the film, but I felt like I wanted it, again, I want this build to be usable. I want it to be player friendly. So we are putting some of the clutter, instead of being on the surfaces, we're sticking them up on some shelves instead, so that we can still have the clutter effect, but we can use the build. We can cook food in here. We can. So yeah, so we're going in with the red now. So it gets very red. It gets very red, but it is in the film. It is very red in the film itself. So we've moved on. We're in the living room now. We're getting a load of pictures up because she has a lot of artwork. A lot of artwork. And I love it when the artwork sort of starts talking to her in the bedroom as well. You'll see what I do with that. In the end, I end up using the big portrait, I think it is, the landscape painting of the dogs playing cards games, is it? I feel, because we don't have a dog in a cone picture and we don't have a goose picture. So I felt like that one it was a good substitute. I think it was a good substitute. And I do put a duck in there. But like an ornament duck. And yeah, I think it works. It works. You'll see. I think it works. I think I can pull it off. I think I have pulled it off. Perhaps. You be the judge. But I think I've done all right. So I was confused in the living room a little bit with the layout, because in the stills that I had, the TV sometimes is in the living room area, sort of where her sofa is. But then other times it's in front of the little window into the kitchen. So I do end up moving it from where the sofa is, and I end up putting it over in front of the little window just there. Because, when she has the scene where she finds the tin and she finds out Lady Diana has died, and she's looking from the bathroom and she's looking into the TV, and it's in front of that window. So I decided to do that because that was a sort of more definitive. It was the one which I was like, yeah, it's there. But the other ones, it was just sort of here and there. It could have been either or. So we do end up changing it. Oh, there's the painting. There's the painting and there's the bed. So artistic license, please grant it to me, because you can only do so much. So I'm just placing stuff here just to get the basic layout, I think. I'm just finishing off the sort of basic layout and just making sure that everything fits where it needs to be. So yeah, I've moved the TV. I've put it in front of that window just there. And we are just... I do put a little cat scratcher post in because I thought, if we're going to have a little Sims cat in here, then it should have a little toy, shouldn't it? It should be able to scratch something other than the furniture. So we do put that in there in the end. So we are just cluttering, I think. I'm just keep looking at pictures and seeing, oh my god, look at all this stuff that she has, and putting more rubbish into the build. But I do like it. I do like a good cluttered house in The Sims, I must admit. It's my sort of preference. I don't really particularly, it's not my cup of tea to have the modern sort of clean lined builds. I do use them from time to time, but it's not my preference. And it's the same with my house. I like that sort of older style house. And ours is really old. It's from like the 1850s or something like that. And it is a really old house. And we have not a lot of clutter, but I do like to keep that sort of look in old builds. It does look better, I think, than the modern clean lines. When you have an old building, you don't want it to be like that minimalist feel, do you? You want it to be like from that era. You want it to be like that. So I've done that with this apartment, I think. I have pulled off clutter okay. I think I've done it. I think so. But anyway, we have more or less done with the living room. I do go back and do some more stuff, but we are moving on slightly into... No, we're not. We are still in the living room, and we may very well stay here because it's been a while since I have recorded this. And I think we're just lighting stuff up at the minute. Yeah, so there is a chair which I use, which is Pufferhead Stuff Pack. So it is CC, but I just could not resist because Amelie, she has a lot of cushions all over her furniture, and this one from the Pufferhead pack had a cushion on it, and it's the only one I could find that was red and had a cushion on it, and it also has like a little throw as well. And I was like, do you know what, it's perfect. I can't choose a different one now, so I end up using that one and I'll leave it in. I've not put it in yet. At the moment I've put in quite like a sort of, not a modern one, but I don't think it fits, so I end up changing it to the Pufferhead one. There was a lot of stuff which I was like, do you know what, I'm not happy with it, I'm going to have to go back and change it. And I do for some of the stuff. For a lot of the stuff I go back and I change it. And I'm just trying to find the blue lamp at the minute, because in the film there is pops of blue here and there, and there is one scene where she's sort of on the sofa and she's crying, and there's this blue light behind her, and it's this sort of really deep, bright blue, and I was really trying to find one that went like it was really closely related to that one, and I couldn't find one, I'm afraid. So I do end up changing the one that I've put in just here to a different one, and I felt like that one worked a little bit better, the one that I changed it to. But you know, there wasn't one that was exactly how I wanted it to be. So I think at the minute as well, I'm trying to put a desk in behind the sofa, because at one point I think there is a desk behind the sofa. I swear to God that in the films they do move the furniture around in the living room quite a bit. So in the end, I think I've put it over here in this corner just here, because I was like, do you know what, there's not a lot of stuff over here, so I'm going to put it over there. And I do like these sort of papers that I have on the desk. It reminds me of when Amelie is creating that letter to, what's her name? Madeline. Is it Madeline? Madeline? Anyway, she's creating that letter and she's cutting all the stuff out and she's reading all the letters, seeing what she's going to put. She's cutting all the bits out. And yeah, it's reminding me of that, and I'm quite liking it. I'm quite liking that sort of little reference just there. So I have tried to put a few little references here and there to the film. And that is one of them. The little fishes behind the light as well, that's another little reference, because she has a painting or a picture behind the blue lamp of the little fishes, two little fishes. So there's your two little fishes. So I'm not happy with that. I end up changing, I wasn't happy with that mirror, so I end up changing it to another one. And I'm still just sort of going around and I'm just tweaking. I'm always tweaking. And yeah, the furniture moves around so much that every picture I looked at, I was like, yeah, this is not right and that's not right, so I need to do this instead of that. And yeah, I keep moving things around, and in the end I think it works really well. So here I am, I'm getting the Pufferhead. That's the Pufferhead sofa right there, the chair, and I like it. I do like it, and I couldn't resist. I try not to use CC in my builds. I do in my creator sim, because I find it really hard to create sims CC free. So I do in creator sim, but in builds I try not to use it too much, but I had to use it. I just had to, because it wouldn't have looked as good. It really wouldn't have looked as good. So yeah, you will forgive me for that. You can always replace that with a different chair if you should download this. But yeah, so we're into the hallway now. I am trying to find, she has some little pictures of her, I'm assuming, relatives in the hallway next to the mirror, and I'm trying to do that here. And I use these ones at first, but I will change them quite a little bit later, because I think these ones are the vampire stuff pack pictures, and I think they sort of change and go, what am I trying to say? They change and they go sort of evil, and when it does that and you've sized it down, I saw this in Deli's orphanage build, and they go like weird, they go bigger than you've actually made the picture. So it's like you can size it down, but when it morphs into the sort of other picture, it still looks all big and horrible. So I remembered that as I was doing this build, and I changed them, because I was like, do you know what, I don't want them to be changing in the night, and then they just look really weird and big. So I end up changing them. So we're into the toilet. I think there's only one scene where she's in the toilet, and it's when she's reading the letters, for Madeline's letters. And yeah, she's got them all sort of like all pasted all over the floor, like they're just everywhere. But we've gone with what I could see, but I've omitted the letters. I've kept in the candles, but I have omitted the letters. And I do put, this candle, this candle behind here, behind the toilet. I just think, like, if that was me, I'd end up lighting those candles and going onto the toilet and burning all my hair off. So it's a bad place to put candles, but it looks nice. It looks nice anyway. And in The Sims, you can't burn your hair off. So you're all fine there. Like, even when they get set on fire, the hair is still fine and intact. So nothing to worry about there. Oh, I struggled to find a sink. There were 2 sinks, and I was like, do you know what? A cross between these would be perfect. And I almost tried to layer them, and it just doesn't work. So yeah, in the end, I just go with the one sink, but I wish that there was a way that I could have layered them, but I couldn't. She has a lot of stuff in the toilet. So get ready to see some clutter happening. Yep, there is a lot of stuff. Yep. That's all I've got to say about that. So here I am. I'm going into all the different sinks. This one, the rim of this one was perfect. But I couldn't commit to it because it wasn't the right style. The rim was the only thing. It was the only thing. So I'm just pulling out a load of stuff for the bathroom here. And I think, I end up, that was a bit quick. But I end up putting those gardening tools near the window where she has her little pot plants. So that was me just sticking those over there. And I'm just cluttering away. And I will put in, at the end you'll see some screenshots of the build. And at the end I'll put in the little picture that I put in the cast. Because it is one of my proudest moments of this build that I put a little crack in where her tile pulls away and she finds that tin. That starts the whole thing of Amelie finding Nino. So I'm going to put that in at the end. It's going to be a little bit irrelevant because it's like the cast screenshot. But I'm putting it in anyway because I want you guys to see it. I really want you to see it. So it'll be there. It'll be there at the end. I was very proud mama. Proud moment just there. But yeah, so I'm just chucking a load of stuff in. A load of stuff. Like, do you know what? I'm gonna, at some point, I'll enter it now. I'm gonna enter a screenshot now of just how messy her bathroom is. Because I was looking at it and I love the aesthetic of Amelie, and I was looking at it and I was like, do you know what? If I was in this room in real life, I'd be having anxiety because it's so cluttered. It really, really is just so much stuff. And I'm like, how can one person have so much stuff? I'm like, I know you live in an apartment, but she's got like 2 cabinets in there, 3 cabinets in there. Put your stuff in your cabinets. Please, Amelie, put your stuff in your cabinets. I tell you what, I hope Nino came in and lived with her in that apartment and was just like, do you know what? I'm going to get rid of this stuff and put it in the cabinets. I hope he sorted out her mess a little bit. Because, in real life, I would be getting... I'd have to clean it up. I'd have to clean it up. Yes. So, she has a couple of mirrors in her bathroom. Every good bathroom needs a couple of mirrors, I feel. So, she has got a couple of mirrors. And I think we're about there for the bathroom. I think we're about there. I'm just checking it out now and I'm just like, does anything else want doing? No. Yes, something else needs doing. I think I end up sticking in a bird because she has a bird ornament on this. Yeah, I think it's a peacock she has. If I remember correctly, I think it's a peacock. But we have a little rooster, a little blue rooster. So we've done the rooster thing. And now she has another boiler, I think, in a bathroom. But in the end, I end up putting in a radiator. And I do that in all of the rooms because I do like the idea of having a radiator in the rooms, because at the end of the day, it's more realistic, isn't it? You do need radiators in your life. In everybody's house, you will find radiators. So, unless you have heated floor, but I assume that like this old apartment building isn't really going to be doing heated floor, like underfloor heating. So, yeah, so we've gone with radiators to make it look a little bit more authentic. So we are doing the bedroom now. This is the last room. So we put in the giraffe lamp because sadly there is no pig lamp in The Sims 4. I know, mourn with me. There is no pig lamp in The Sims 4. So we have to settle for the giraffe lamp. I know, I'm sorry. The giraffe lamp it is, I'm afraid. It would have been nice to have a piggy. It also would have been nice to have a dog picture with a cone on and a goose picture, but unfortunately we don't. So yeah, she's got another TV. I think it's the exact same TV, to be honest. It's green. We don't have a green TV. But she has the exact same TV in both her living room and her bedroom. So we've done that, but I've changed the colour because I was like, do you know what? We don't have green for starters, so well, let's just go with white in the bedroom. Let's mix it up a little bit. So that's what we do. We change it to white. And yeah, I'm just rugging it up. I'm just putting all of the rugs in. I can't remember which one I put in here. I think it's that one. Do I stick with that one? Yeah, it looks like I do. So I'm pretty sure I don't end up changing the wallpaper that much. Yeah, I think it's all very red, isn't it? But it is an Amelie, and I don't think I use that lamp, do I? Yeah, I do use that lamp, and I'll just try and put a little bit more clutter, of course, in. So that's what we're doing. We are just pulling a load of stuff out, finding more stuff for the bathroom while we're doing it, and sticking it all into the build. That's what we're doing. So I think I put a book on. Yeah, I was just about to say, I was like, I'm sure I find a book and I end up sticking it on the end of the bed, but I'm pretty sure it's floating a little bit, so forgive me for that. I'm sure when I put it down it was cutting into the bed, so I lifted it up a little bit, and I don't think I checked it properly because yeah, it's not quite there. Yeah, so we are referencing stuff just now. We were referencing something, and I think we're about there, to be honest. We're just doing the final finishing touches. Put a mirror in there. Yeah, I'm putting a mirror there. I put a load more stuff on this cabinet just here that you can see, including the duck. We put the duck on there. I think I was trying to find some pictures to go on here. I'm not certain that I find them. Do I leave those there? No, yeah, I put them over there. And I don't think I keep these. No. Oh yeah, here we are. We're changing the pictures in the hallway just now because, yeah, I just wasn't happy with what we had in there. So we've changed them. And then we are sticking a load of stuff on here. And there's your duck. So we've got a duck reference. I've got your back. We've got a duck. We also have a flamingo. And I'm pretty sure that's it. More or less. We've got some daisies in there and some candles, and yeah, we just go around now and we just fill up a little bit more space with stuff that I'm finding. And I think I put some books, yeah, more books, candles. I get a new blue lamp. I go back into the kitchen and I do a little bit in there as well, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit everywhere apparently. But I do think I'm going to leave you all here to enjoy me tweaking some stuff. I do hope you enjoyed it. There'll be some screenshots at the end, so stick around for those. If you did like it, please thumbs it up and subscribe down below if you would like to. And I shall see you all in the next video. Bye!